This video contains gratuitous use of profanity and uncomfortable pauses to compensate for lack of professionalism and original thought. Viewer discretion advised.
Woke up in the sanitarium. In the ring, I feel like Leatherface. Run up, then I bury you. They know the vibes when I'm coming through. They told you lies, but we know the truth. Vibes, gotta let it loose. Yeah, I'm gone. I can't feel my face gone. You won't see my face gone. Feel like Leatherface gone. Feel like Leatherface. Sanitarium. Better get up, sick, make him spit up. Witch, cough his lips up. Bitch, breathing his blood. Better get up, sick, make him spit up. Witch, cough his lips up. Breathing his blood. Woke up in the sanitarium.
Hola, senors and senoritas, mi amigos. Welcome to another episode of the Sanitarium with El Guapo. Unfortunately, my compadre, my dearest friend, Face, is being held hostage in the Appalachians right now, and he's being forced to remake an X-rated version of the classic movie Deliverance. So everybody pray for him. I think we're going to get a GoFundMe to try to free Face. And if you listen closely, you just heard sounds from that porn set right now. God bless him. Our prayers are with you, Face. We love you.
I'm here. What'd you say? What's going on?
Oh, hey, brother. There you are. Just wait.
I'm doing what? I missed it.
You're doing good things, man. You're doing great things. We love you.
Oh. All right, brother, you doing anything funky?
No, not me. I love you. I would never do that to you, brother.
Woo! You better not, damn it.
You're my favorite turd.
Fuck you. Oh, shit. So, yeah, ghosty tonight. Paranormal ghost, demonic possession, spirits, sightings, physical assault.
Yeah,
the ET finger. Ouch. And your
no shit. From the other dimension, from the other world. This is
in the middle of the night, you're gonna be like, oh my god.
That will be the sound of El Guapo, and you will hear.
That's sound of El Guapo.
So yeah, there's a great movie from the '80s. I think we've mentioned it before, with Barbara Hershey, where she actually is physically assaulted by a ghost. I think it's called The Entity. And so we have a real life Barbara Hershey, if you will, as a guest tonight. Her name is Amy Brim Miller, and we're grateful that she's going to be our guest. And let's see, Paul, our faithful compadre, Paul has brought her here. He was actually at her house, right, and did an investigation. You have some pictures from that?
Yeah, somewhere. All right. Keep talking for a second.
I'm going to keep talking for a second. So everybody knows ghosts can kind of move things, and we've all seen scary movies and maybe some real life footage of these type of this phenomenon, but it's rare that you have somebody who's actually physically assaulted or touched. I've seen some crazy things with people actually being scratched or hurt, but I think that might have been even worse for this woman. And she's brave enough to come on to our show of all shows and tell us about it. So I'm looking forward to speaking with Amy shortly, as soon as we bring her on. There's some pictures. This almost looks like an angel if you can zoom in on it. I'm sorry, folks, it's kind of small, especially if you're watching on a phone. But yeah, this was taken by Paul Dale Roberts at Amy's home during an investigation where I believe they tried to clear her house. But yeah, it's pretty insane that it's such a clear picture too.
Trying to get to the next one. It's not letting me.
Almost reminds me of Poltergeist. You remember Poltergeist, when that great scene where they show the ghost coming down the stairs and the light show? It's really similar to that.
Oh yeah, definitely that one. All right, keep talking. I'll bring up some more.
Okay, while Face is getting some more of that, we hope his butthole is feeling better after his time in Appalachia.
Hey, what?
Nothing, fella. Nothing, fella. We're doing good.
Okay.
So, if there's any women in the Daytona Beach all the way up to St. Augustine area who want to go on a date with El Guapo, you can win a date with El Guapo. and trust me, you don't want to miss this opportunity. Yeah. Sorry, that was cashews. Anyways, we'll be bringing on the round table shortly after we speak with Amy and doing our normal format. Last week we want to apologize. Our fearless leader Face was in the middle of something and just couldn't make it, But he's healed up. His rear end's feeling better, and he's ready to go tonight. And we're looking forward to having him.
Thanks for just putting that out there like that.
Hey man, anything for you, brother.
Jeez.
So
that's just wonderful.
Did you just soil yourself?
All right, I got some pictures, but we'll play when we come back. We'll show the pictures when we come back with a guest. How about that?
Sounds good to me. Are we gonna go roll some beautiful fudge footage or?
You know it, bitch.
Not everything is as it seems on the surface, as this family's about to find out.
Are we there yet? Mom, Timmy's pulling my hair.
Timmy, stop it.
Are we there yet? I gotta use the bathroom. Me too.
Well, kids, I told you to go potty back at the house.
Oh, look, honey, we can pull over in a couple miles and let them pee in Uranus.
Yeah, Dad. I want to pee in Uranus. I want to pee in Uranus too, Dad.
Look, honey, the billboard says Uranus is only a couple miles away.
Look, it says the best fudge comes from Uranus.
That sounds delicious. I sure hope they pack my fudge better than your dad does.
Well, I'm sure we'll all learn a few things in Uranus.
I want to try all the fudge in Uranus. I hope they have mint fudge in Uranus.
I'm so excited to be in Uranus with the kids.
And I can't wait to pull into Uranus. I want to be in Uranus.
Fudge, yeah!
If you live too far away to let your family pee in Uranus, don't worry. You can order your fudge online at www.uranusgeneralstore.com. I'm going to go pee in Uranus right now.
Fudge, yeah!
Hey, all you cool cats and kittens. It's Carol Baskin, and you're watching the Sanitarium with Leatherface. Rawr!
Rawr.
We love you, Carol.
You're like obsessed, aren't you?
I love Carol.
Hey, you want to smash? You're gonna disappear. Yeah, maybe no more Phil.
No risk, no reward. That's all I gotta say.
See, I'm kind of torn in between because I like Carol Baskin. She was absolutely a sweetheart. She was awesome, really good sport. Even coming on our little funny show, not knowing our reputation for ambushing people with funny shit. And I told her ahead of time, hey, we have a Joe Exotic impersonator. It's one of my show guys here. She was a good sport. She was awesome. But I also, on the other hand, I like Joe Exotic. I think he's a crazy, fucking funny ass character. I might not disagree with some of his practices with the animals, and I believe his charges are bullshit.
Yeah.
Even there's evidence out there, even video of the people who set him up, and everything's out there. There needs to be a retrial, or that man needs to be out of jail, straight up.
Yeah, I'm more on Carol Baskin's side of the fence with that one. I mean, he did.
That's because you want to nail her.
Well, besides all that, but he did try to have her killed. I mean, they were going to string up that what was it, that wire across that road that she always goes down with her bicycle and try to knock her head off.
Yeah, but that's entrapment and set up, and they're egging him. There is such thing as entrapment. And that's what they were doing to him. And
I definitely think they encouraged him. I think what was really astonishing was, besides Joe, because they showed at the end of that movie, that great documentary series, that sometimes these horrible things start out with the best intentions. And it seemed like in the beginning of his career, he did start out with sincerely in the best interest of animals, and then it just really went south and dark and ended up in these horrible things where he's killing tigers and keeping chimpanzees in small cages and just all sorts of awful shit, which I think people should be in jail for that type of behavior.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think you should have to be attempted to kill a human. I think if you fuck up an animal, you should pay for it. But yeah. Anybody who hasn't seen that documentary series, check it out. The other flip side of it too is they think they made a part 2 where they talked about Carol's husband going down to Belize or South America somewhere and like dating 12-year-old girls and shit like that. And he's the guy that they're all, he's disappeared, and Carol had him chopped up and thrown him into the lake and all that horse shit.
Probably a good reason for it.
Yeah, it's like, wait a minute, that maybe this guy needed to die. This fucking pedophile.
Yeah, if you're doing that shit, you should be chopped up and popped into little pieces. Yeah.
So, but I think she's doing great work with the animals. Unfortunately, in Florida and in the United States, what is it? There are more tigers in captivity than there are in the wild.
Yes.
I've watched tons of different shows on it. Yeah, you want to watch a great one? Anybody else too who's watching? If you like that type of stuff, check out Cat Dancers. There's a couple of different series that mention this couple, and then there's a whole documentary, and I think they're trying to make a dramatic, interpretation of their story. But Cat Dancers is a really fucking crazy story about this husband and wife couple who, like, they were like the Sigmund and Freud kind of thing, where they had all sorts of big cats in their act and did magic, but they incorporated dancing with it. And the husband was obviously gay. He made
didn't that what's those two guys in Vegas? They got tigers. One got bit in the taint.
That was Siegfried and Roy.
Sigmund and Freud. Yeah.
I said Sigmund and Freud.
I think he got bit. He got bit in the taint. He got bit in the taint, didn't he?
He got bit right in the throat. The tiger went and then they tried to play it off like, oh, the tiger was trying to help him and drag him off stage. Yeah, that's what. It's like, no, you pissed the tiger off. The tiger's gonna fuck you up.
Would you rather get bit in the neck or bit in the taint?
I take me in the ass. What do you call it? I could survive that.
That's why he's in Florida.
Might smell a little, but I'll get over it. The ass is the fleshiest part of the body. You got a better chance of making it.
So I have a theory. So I call it the all release, to where if you're in a situation where something has a hold of you, it's going to hurt you.
Yeah.
Start off with a human suggestion. If some big old giant dude, I'll probably get an example here. Some big old dude comes and snatches you up, he's going to do some bad things to you. And you're like, holy shit, what are you going to do? I mean, if you can't move, so what do? You shove your whole fucking 4-3-4 finger, whole hand up their ass. Not even spit on it, no warning. You just shove your hand up their ass. I guarantee that person will let go.
The raw-fisted.
They will let go. And I have a theory that will probably work with mountain lions, bears. I mean, if I was a mountain lion and I was chewing on you, Phil, I was just chewing on your neck, and all of a sudden you just fucking rammed dry fucking 4 fingers straight up my ass, I would probably let go. Probably go raw, and I'll probably run.
Now, is this a scene from the movie you just got released from in Appalachia?
No, what? What the fuck are you talking about in the beginning that I missed?
Nothing, brother.
I need to watch the replay later, huh?
So instead of Survivor Man, we're gonna have Survivor Face, and he's gonna tell you kids out there, if a grizzly bear attacks you, stick your fist right up that grizzly's ass.
Good fucking dick. But for real though, I mean, a whole fist just crammed all up in that ass.
I hope that in a situation like that, I will have the composure to be able to remember what face said. Fist.
Dude, it might save your life one day.
Face saved my life. I had to stick my hand up a grizzly bear's ass, but it saved my life.
Unless it's cocaine bear, that fucker might be like, oh yeah.
Cocaine bear might like it.
I know.
He wanted to take a rock of coke and shove it up there.
Shit. So back to paranormal witnesses and away from the butthole insertions. Let's start bringing our guest, Angel. She's a paranormal witness.
It's Amy.
Why does it say Angel Mom? See, it's confusing. I see you're talking down there. All right, hold on. All right, I gotta get your voice right. Here's Amy.
Hello,
Amy. It says Angel Mom, so it totally fucked me up on that one. Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Do you want us to call you Angel Mom?
No, you can call me Amy.
Okay, Amy.
I don't know how to change that. Can I change that?
Don't change it.
Or do you have to do that?
Don't change it for us. We like it.
Okay.
Don't make me start changing names. People get funny names and I start doing editing.
So, Amy, tell us about yourself. Paul Dale Roberts, was a great friend of ours and brought you on the show, and we're grateful to you and to Paul. Can you tell us your story?
Well, I lost my son and brother in an auto accident This October 8th will be 5 years. There were things that were starting to happen to me. I started hearing things and I started seeing things, and I would feel like little touches on me walking around. It started out like pretty much by my pool, not just by my pool, but in my home. But I started feeling like little, like almost like cobwebs touching me. And I got really intrigued. So my ex-husband, he thought to help me was to bring in a medium. And I wish I had never did that. So when I did, exactly 6 months after losing them, I brought in a medium. It brought clarity to me. And I thought, okay, well, I'm very intrigued by this stuff, and nothing was scaring me at that point because I was getting signs from them immediately, as soon as just a couple days after. But the real one was 5 days after my ex-husband and my son-in-law and somebody else snapped a picture, and you could see my son's head, just like the reflection on the car. But I decided to take some classes to open myself up to this stuff, and that's when so wait, let me back up real quick. So exactly 1 month after bringing in that medium, my security camera caught some of those pictures that you'll see. Especially there's a woman standing on my front porch, I believe to be my mom. That is partially me, but my son standing with me. And the reason I can tell it's my son, it's his posture. He looks like he has his camo gear on. It's the same bone structure. My son looks a lot like me. And it's right directly in front of his bedroom. Now, right there are a couple of spirits standing there. You've got the taller one, and then you've got one that there's probably probably a little family of them right there. And that again is inside my home. Now those are multiple images that you can tell. They're just white shadow beings. They look like they're wearing cloaks. I don't know who they are. Now that is the white part is the kitchen cabinet in my kitchen. There was nothing up there. The only thing that you can see is to the right. There is a chandelier hanging, but you see those two faces that are up there? The one to the left is my son, and I cannot make out who the other one is. It is a woman. I would say very similar to my mom, but back then when I was looking at these, I knew instantly that was my son. That's in my bedroom. I happened to capture that just right on my wall, and the light was just coming through perfectly, and I do take it as an angel or a fairy that was watching over me. And at that time I was having some really hard times. The feelings I was getting, the things I was seeing, and the things these spirits started doing to me.
Oh, it's a fairy. Oh, sorry.
You fucker.
Got him.
Face gets his revenge. So sorry about that inappropriate interruption. But yeah, Face was getting his revenge from our earlier remarks about his porn shoot in Appalachia. So, that picture of the angel is pretty amazing. Was that from your phone? You took that picture?
Yeah, I was laying in my bed, and I just happened to see this light come through on my wall. And and the crazy thing is about a week later, I noticed that in my backyard there was a string hanging down. Not a string, but a rope. It was from my grandson's swing, but it had broke, and I don't know if it's the light that was coming off it and made it look that way, but I still don't see how it could turn out looking like that. So I still believe that it is an angel or a fairy, because even around that time, I was in the bathroom, and I remember looking up at my window, and I could see an old man peeking through my window, but I saw this little tiny angel, just like she was guarding right there. She didn't want anybody looking through at me.
When you said that you regretted bringing a medium into the house or into this situation, can you elaborate on that? What happened
Well,
after the medium?
she was 100%. I would say she was very accurate on her words of what she said. The problem was is when I did take some mediumship classes, and and that's when I opened up. It's almost been 3 years, and in January will be 3 years that I opened up to being able to hear, feel, and see all this completely just fine. But these spirits, they can be very deceptive. I know my son's voice, I know my brother's voice, I know my mother's voice, I know certain friends and family that have passed away, even celebrities that have passed away that have come to me. But what made me regret it was because once you open this doorway, you cannot close it. I don't care what any medium tells you. I've reached out to help to Paul. He came here and did a Roman Catholic baptism. He cleansed my home. And then he reached out. He felt like, okay, well, let's bring in a shaman. Well, they were too much, and I hate to put it this way, and I know you're still friends with them, Paul, but too much of the Bible thumping for me. I believe in God. I believe in Jesus. I was raised in church. But I'm at that point where I'm starting to say I'm agnostic, because I don't know what to believe anymore. How can a spirit that says they love you want to harm you? And I mean, they've allowed things to happen to me in my bed. I mean, they have sexually touched me. They have, and I'm not saying it's my son or my brother, but other spirits, male spirits, even female, have touched me in private areas that they should not be doing. I mean, I could feel them all the way back at the G spot where I just think it's inappropriate, the things that they can do to you, and we can't stop it. I just started setting all these. Huh?
I wish I could luck out like that. Oh.
Trust me, they got me to try it one time, and I'm like, this is enough for me. It doesn't feel right. It doesn't seem right. So I was very upset with the situation. And now here, like I said, I'm going to be going on 3 years of being able to hear this stuff, and all they want to do is aggravate me every day. Every day. It's not always a bad thing. It might be a noise they do, or just something they might say.
Yeah, it's understandable. I mean, if Phil has a poltergeist that follows his butthole every night. So I mean, Phil is probably right there with you. So. Middle night. All right, continue. I'm sorry.
Hey, Amy, have you ever seen a movie called The Entity with Barbara Hershey back in the early '80s? I think it was.
I probably have, but I can't recall it. It's been so long.
It showed a similar situation where a woman was being sexually assaulted by a ghost, or something you couldn't see. And of course, it's a movie, but they actually showed her being pinned down, where she couldn't move her hands, her body, and her being. Is that kind of how it happened?
Well, not when they were doing what they were doing, but there have been other times where they have pried my legs apart, like I have kept them crossed, and it was more. I kept them crossed, and I could feel them just trying to pull my legs apart, and they wanted that, but they didn't do anything at that point. It's like they would wait till I would get really relaxed in bed and thinking they were gonna do something. Maybe it was something I was craving at that moment because I went through a divorce and they thought that they were gonna help me through a situation. No, it's my body. You don't touch it unless I say. I've had some bad things happen to me.
I'm sorry about that. Some of the words you choose, were any of the experiences, maybe the first one, like voluntary or willing, or did you?
Well, not the first time, no, because I remember going to get off the toilet, and all I felt were 3 little taps on my clit, and I remember saying to them, "Don't do that again. You don't have that right." But they had me right there. It was like I almost had an orgasm, and that's
there
how
has to be a name for that. Like, there's a Blumpkin. There's other things you can do. There has to be something. It has to be called something to where a ghost plays with your genitalia on the toilet.
We will get our finest people working on that.
All right.
I would love that.
All right.
But
get on that, Phil.
Other than that, there were not very many instances where I said it's okay to do that. Now I would test them on their strength and say, okay, well, my back's aching. Can you give me a massage? So I would start.
It starts from there.
Yeah, you're right.
Like,
it does.
Good job. Now touch my butthole.
And that's probably. But that is actually where it started with me. So, except for that other incidents that I said, but I even till this day, the what is it thing off the Addams Family?
Yeah,
the little hand.
Yeah.
That's what I feel.
That would so come in handy these days. All right, go ahead.
That's what I feel on me.
Wake up. You're Selena waking up, and there's just this fucking hand that's jerking you off in the morning. You got your morning wood. I'd be like you're here for morning wood. You got that little hand.
That'd be great for you men, but us women.
Yeah, that'd be perfect.
You're right. Maybe if they could get it done right, but I will not allow them to do that to me because not always being able to be shown who is right there at that moment because they will keep themselves hidden a lot of the times.
So can you see that? You can actually see a body or a shape. Not obviously not. You can. Okay, so it isn't like an invisible. You don't know what like a. Yeah, you're not blind to what's happening. You can actually see who's doing this to you.
Yeah, there have been a couple spirits. One of them I put in a brother zone, and he got upset because he's like, "Take me out of that brother zone." No.
Whoa.
Because I'm not going to give you that permission to touch me. And
speaking of time touching, it's Maynard time.
Hey guys, it's Maynard time. Brother.
Sorry, I had to. All right, continue, please.
So where were we? This time you
guys something about putting one of them in a brother zone.
Yes, I put him in a brother zone because I always felt like we went to school together, but he used to like me when we were younger, but he had his chance back when we were younger. So we always, as we got older, I would just say, we all would say he's like a brother to us. So I think being on the other side, he really took that serious. They should, because they say that we're all brothers and sisters. But either way, they don't act like that, because I have seen these things. I mean, I've been held down on my bed feeling like an orgy's going on around me.
Hold on.
What?
So I never heard of a ghostly cock block before. I can't imagine a ghost trying to fill up on somebody and they get the cock block as a ghost. So you are the master or creator of the ghostly cock block.
The ghost block.
I did do that to him, and recently I took him out of that. I said, "Fine, go ahead. You're gonna do what you want to do, anyways." You know, but all that touching in those private areas stopped.
What? So wait, as soon as you gave it to him, he didn't want it. This sounds like a.
It's kind of what it seems like to me. Maybe it's because I had enough, and I finally said, "Look, it's not right for you to be doing these things to me. You're making me feel something is wrong here, and you're making me feel
make you humble."
Jesus Christ!
Like you're not who you say you are.
Sorry about that. That was the Iron Sheik coming over from the other side. Can you tell us more about this ghost orgy that you said was happening?
So I think I had just fallen asleep, and I was dreaming, and I felt like I could not. My arms were back on the bed. I felt like even if I was this way, I felt like I couldn't move. And when I'm looking around, all I see are these spirits, which look like an orgy going on around me.
Wow.
Shout out Justin Kirkman. Shout out, yo.
Wow. So so men and women, literally, all are on your bed. Yeah.
Yeah, men and women both were on my bed. Wow. And it just was an uncomfortable feeling because I've never had anything like this happen to me.
Well, kind of like a real orgy, you think it's going to be a great idea, and then you're there and you're like, maybe this was a mistake.
Right. Well, and then in that same time, I started dreaming that night, and when they say those are like visitation dreams, I felt like there's these two young men that were chasing me, dressed as fairies, and they would have me up in the air, taking me wherever, and touching me inappropriately still.
Oh, Jesus Christ, face.
But it's still it got to a point to where I had to ask to bring Paul in to do the things he did, and I thought that it had mellowed out, and it did for a bit. But that's been now over 2 years that I brought him in, or almost. No, it's been 2 years.
What was this? I'm sorry, this is an inappropriate question, but I am a man, so I have to ask: was any of it fun, or was it all terrible?
There were a couple interesting moments. I wouldn't say it's fun. It's still scary because you don't know when you allow them to do something, you don't know what their intentions are and what they're gonna do.
Well, have you ever actually been hurt? I mean, obviously inappropriate touching is an assault.
No, I have not.
She has a ghost like touching her butthole from the toilet. I mean, it can't be pleasant.
No, and that was traumatizing to me, but it was because it was a friend of mine's kid that had killed himself. That I was being told that it was. They kept saying it's this person, and I'm like, I can't look down there to see right now. You know what I mean? So technically, I couldn't tell you, because I have seen him, and a matter of fact, I do believe he is one that's in a picture that I have, where I'm sitting at the table and he is lined up with me.
Was it gentle, or were some of them like physically rough or abusive?
No, I have never had one hurt me physically.
Ooh. Well, it's kind of cool you mentioned fairies earlier. I was just looking through my pictures. Let me go ahead and show you. This is my ring cam caught. I was in the bedroom. I saw something flickering in the woods next to me. I'm out in the middle of nowhere, but check it out. I'm like, what the fuck is this thing in the tree fucking around? What the hell is that? And it was super fast. I got a better picture of it. But check that out.
It's Slimer.
It seems like it might be it looks like an orb, like a.
Oh,
nice.
Fuck.
I was waiting for it. That
was
No, because I have a video from exactly 1 month after bringing that medium in, and it's on my Facebook page under Levi's Spiritualist Century, or Paul has it, or it's on my page too. And 1 month, exactly 1 month, bringing in this medium, I could see a white image from its waist down. And I could see all these spirits wrapping around my legs and getting in between my legs. But that one spirit I was focusing on, and it was my son. And he was just going so fast, and you can see he has balls of light in his hands. And it was that was him trying to get my attention, because at that point I could only see it through a camera. And then as I dug deeper into it and started taking classes, then he started showing himself more to me. Him and
use
my
the
brother.
Use music. It's time for a quick break. Bring back the round table. Hang in there. Sorry to interrupt you. We'll get back into that as soon as we get back. And we shall return. We'll be right back.
The best fudge comes from Uranus.
Uranus, Missouri.
That felt good.
Tastes even better.
Wow. Deep in the crack of America's heartland, the citizens of Uranus are bursting to give you their amazing fudge. That's right, fudge from Uranus. I'm not fudging with you. We're literally in Uranus. That's the mayor of Uranus, and you can get your fudge out the back door at UranusGeneralStore.com.
And we're not fudging with you. I'm as serious as a fudging horse kick to the side of your fudging head.
I am as serious as forgetting your fudging anniversary.
I'm serious as skid marks on your fudging undies.
I'm serious as fudging a pregnancy test. I'm serious as fudging the presidential election.
I'm serious as fudging the bar exam.
Uranus squeezes out so many different fudges that they have a fudge for everyone. They got blueberry fudge, chocolate fudge, vanilla fudge, chocolate pecan fudge, mint chocolate fudge, cookies and cream fudge, peanut butter fudge, M&M fudge, toffee bar fudge. There's a fudge for everyone. Right now I'm making the mayor's #2 favorite flavor of fudge. You can try some at UranusGeneralStore.com. Click now.
That is some yummy fudge from Uranus.
The best fudge does come from Uranus, Mr. Mayor. That's my dad. Go to UranusGeneralStore.com and order the best fudge and fudge this side of the Mississippi. And the other fudge inside, too. We can't contain it anymore. Uranus is about to explode across your screen and your front door.
Ooh, fudge!
Quit prairie dogging and order the best fudging fudge ever. Hey, Mr. Prairie Dog. So if digging for fudge in Uranus isn't your thing, then bring your fingers over here. Uranus offers a lot more than fudge. They got fudging magnets. They got fudging hats and the hottest fudging calendars of Uranus you've ever fudging seen. Ooh, that's cool. But if you ask me what the best part about Uranus is, other than the fudge in Uranus, it's the fudging shirts. Fudge not, lest ye be fudged first. Fudge, 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 fudge. Want to see more of Uranus? Come see the amazing attractions like
the Moonicorn Creamery and Funnel Cakery.
Fudge it great.
Escape Uranus escape rooms.
Fudgerific.
Uranus Sideshow Museum.
Hot fudge.
Chicken Bones Party Bar and Grill.
Fudge, yeah. So quit fudging around. How many more times do I need to say fudge to get you to order some fudge and fudge? Seriously, Uranus can't hold this fudge forever, so you might as well order some fudge today for fudge sake. Go to UranusGeneralStore.com and order your fudge today. Or come down here and drop some deuces yourself. Peace.
Welcome to Uranus! Let's make Uranus great again.
Fudge, yeah. Fudge, 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 fudge. Fudge.
In a time and place where kids were forced to fight for survival.
Jesus, I'm just hoping when I lop this dude's filthy head off, his cock will be rigor-mortied for like 30.
Food is sparse.
Jesus, I'm starving.
And so are the women.
God damn it, Samuel. See if you could cut that tree stump off and fit it up my anus.
These are the Hunger Gays.
Oh, god damn, cock back with your spoo arrow and shoot it in me.
Oh, coming this summer to theaters near you.
God damn it, what are you doing in that tree? Climb down off that hard piece of wood and climb onto mine.
Written by Suzanne Collins.
Is that a bow and arrow in your pocket, or are you happy to see me?
Readapted by Aman Carlson.
Take your filthy love weapon and stuff it deep inside my fight tunnel.
The hunger has been satisfied.
Welcome to the round table. All right, it's that time. Welcome to the round table. Here is Paul Dale Roberts. And we have El Guapo.
Hola, señores, amigos.
We have me. Right. We have Executioner Leatherface. Dirty Twig bringing in the second half of the hour. Sanitarium, 3 on our guest. Here's Angel Mom.
Amy. Welcome back, Amy.
Sorry. Yes, Amy.
So,
I might as well get everything started, huh?
Yeah,
hey,
Paul, what do you got?
I know that Broadway probably has some questions, and I have some questions for Amy too, but I'm gonna let Broadway go ahead.
No, go ahead, because I'm still thinking.
Okay.
It's already been answered already.
That's gotta hurt.
All right. Amy, you mentioned that somehow some celebrities, some deceased celebrities came to you, and I was just curious, what deceased celebrities did you encounter?
Sylvia Brown.
Oh, okay.
And the reason being is I have so back when my ex-brother-in-law passed away, I reached out to her because of a picture I had taken 20 years ago or so, because my son was very little at the time, so was my daughter. We let off 100 balloons in the sky, and it was just starting to sprinkle. It was cloudy out, and when those balloons started to form a circle, and when I took that picture, and you take his picture and put it next to each other, they're identical. So I submitted it to her, and I got back a statement stating that she authenticated it. I don't know what happened. That was through my old email. And then the lady I was mentoring, which I will not say her name because I do not deserve this woman, needs any credit whatsoever. She did wrong by me, but she always glamorized this woman. And so from my understanding, she comes forward to help me. And she's saying she's the one who opened this doorway for my son and brother and mom and my family, whoever, to communicate with me because of all the good that I've done. And I have seen Michael Jackson in spirit. Now he has not spoke to me, although at least I feel like I've heard him sing. I have seen Little Peep. I don't know if any of you know who he is.
That's who was probably touching your butthole on the toilet.
But actually, that's exactly who it was.
Amy, it's funny that you mentioned Sylvia Brown because the secretary of Sylvia Brown, named Holly DeLauder, was actually a member of HPI, my group.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Holly DeLauder and some of my team members, we investigated Mount Shasta. So, yeah, and that was kind of interesting. And then you mentioned Michael Jackson. I did a documentary called In Search of Your Spirit, and we were trying to summon Michael Jackson. And we had a lock of his hair from the 1974 Pepsi commercial where his hair caught on fire, and they had his hair in the envelope, and we used that. There was a psychic named Bobby McKesso, and he used that to bring Michael Jackson back on stage as a ghost.
Well, look at that. You can see my dick from here.
And you don't always have to, you know, it probably does help to have those items. But in my case, I was just a fan of his growing up and listened to his music. I've seen Whitney Houston and her daughter. I have not heard them speak. I've seen them and then when I was mentoring under the lady I was mentoring under, she sent me a case to work on, which I was kind of baffled on because she was going to. So have any of you heard of Vanessa Jean from Fort Hood?
No.
She's that soldier that was
yeah, she was killed. She was killed by that other soldier. He had a threesome.
Now, she's come to me, and I've heard her laugh in my backyard out loud, which tripped me out. One of the very first times I heard it. She actually tried to, because she speaks a lot of Spanish, so she probably didn't want me to recognize her voice, so she chose my stepsister's voice. But I knew exactly who it was because I was trying to help her, and I even sent in at that moment when all that was going on. I told my son and my brother, because my son wanted to be in the military. I said, "Look, I want you to line this up, and I want you to go in and help this young lady to figure out what it is she needs to do." Because I have pictures of her standing over her own grave, or not grave, but those own sites. And what it was is a sergeant that used to be in the military went there to pay her respects and took some pictures and gave those pictures to me.
I didn't do that.
It's
hey,
okay.
Amy, also too, after I did my investigation at your house, Ghost Adventures read my article and they were going to film at your house. Whatever happened to that?
Well, they kept telling me when they come up this way they were going to, and then they decided they weren't going to come up this way, and then that guy Justin took over, and he listened to my story, and then he's like, yeah, well, when we will make it up there at one point. Well, at one point, I really, really, really needed him again, and he basically told me to go ask for mental help.
What? Justin West told you that?
Yes.
Wow.
So I basically told the guy where to go.
Wow. Okay, so that's what happened with Ghost Adventures. Okay.
Yeah.
Are you still being bothered by these entities, or are they gone?
No, they're still with me, and I get agitated with them because I can't trust who they are saying they are. Because
So you don't know who's flicking the bean.
No, I mean, and it's they don't touch that area no more. I don't let them do that.
I gotta ask you another thing, Amy, real quick.
Yeah.
You were saying that the deceased celebrities check in with you. Has there been a deceased celebrity by the name of Ned Beatty that has approached you?
I have not heard that one yet.
Because Ned Beatty. Face is a Ned Beatty fan, so.
Okay. Well, I wouldn't be surprised now hearing these names if they do come forward, because it seems like anytime anybody brings somebody up to me, they just want to come through. And I'm finding out like things about even my house. I didn't know before I met you, Paul, but a mortician used to live here.
Oh shit.
And then I live just a couple miles from a cemetery. I like that picture. That's me sometimes at night. No. But it's just to be able to fully know it's them 100%, you know, because spirits can show themselves in all shapes, sizes, and forms. And I've even seen an imp, and I didn't even know what an imp was until this guy Bill out of New York, he was explaining something to me, and when I told him my experience, he's all, "That's an imp." You remember that green glowing light that we saw in my house in a picture you have? Now he's trying to tell me that was, but I seen something different in that. I seen 4 males standing in a row, and it probably went on.
Watching that flame dance up my taint.
Jesus Christ.
What was that?
That was
Pink,
not
Phil.
that was Ace. That was not me.
Phil did that one.
Control over this.
He's guilty.
Amy, when you had Paul Dale Roberts at your house for the investigation, how did that kind of go? I mean, we've seen some pictures, but can you explain to us, you know, a little bit about that?
Things did mellow out. Things had changed. I mean, geez, that was like my 7th time being baptized. And then he told me,
times?
I've been baptized 7 times
Well,
overall.
you must have been really bad then. I mean, damn, 7 times. Jeez.
And I probably needed about 10 more times. I don't know.
And also, too, a full submersion baptism is a basic form of exorcism.
Yes.
So, yeah, I did give Amy a full submersion baptism. Wasn't in your hot tub?
In the hot tub.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's right.
I'm about ready to bless this water myself in my pool. I did say a little prayer because I'm an ordained minister myself, and you know sometimes you can't even help your own self in these times of tragedy that I've gone through. I mean, I lost my mom 15 years ago. Next month will be 15 years to an accidental overdose. I lost my uncle just a year prior to losing my son and brother. And then my son and brother, that's what sent me over an edge in a certain way. I mean, because I lost and when it comes to my son, now there's a little backstory with that. He, about 14 months prior, I woke up to him yelling and screaming for me. He was in his bedroom, and I just said, "Levi, what's wrong?" And I mean, at first, all you could see was terror and fear in his face. He said he felt paralyzed to his bed, and it took me about 3 hours to get him to calm down. And when I finally did, he still would not tell me what he saw. But all he said to me before he went to sleep, I got him to come lay in my room with me. He was only 19 years old. He just said, "Mom, I don't think I'm going to make it past my 20th birthday." That accident was 3 weeks before his 20th birthday. Him and my brother were hit by a diesel. And my son was starting to miss school or miss work, putting off the military. He's even told me he didn't feel he belonged in this time era. Now I found out my brother was speaking about death quite a bit. And I've had a couple people ask me, and no, my brother did not go head on with this diesel. It was clearly stated that diesel crossed into their lane and took them out. And my son was asleep when it happened, so I know my son didn't feel anything. And my brother did, but he died minutes later. They did try to work on him.
That's terrible. Sorry for your loss. That's
Thank you.
Just absolutely awful.
Paul actually has another picture too of in my pool. My best friend at the time, she was like, "Let's take a pic." We just got done cleaning the pool, and she puts it on Facebook as her status, and somebody says, "Who's that at the bottom of your pool?" And I asked somebody, I knew instantly that it was my son because I could see a boxer and I could see a little boy that looked like my brother laying down. And I also have another brother that's deceased. He passed away at 6 weeks old. But they call it a God wink. And it's just a natural creation from God that shows him at the bottom of my pool. But it also, at that moment, because I couldn't get a clear image of his face, it could have been his friend that drowned just a few years before that, not in my pool, but out here at a spillway local by me.
You've had a lot of loss in your life. That's,
I have.
Sorry.
And I lost 2 friends at the same time.
Yeah. I can't locate that photo, but that's a very clear photo of what looks like your son in the pool.
Right.
And it's the strangest thing. You don't have it on you?
I
mean, I have it somewhere. I have it somewhere. Is it on your telephone? Because I think
it is on this one, but I don't know how to. I would have to.
Yeah, don't mess with the phone.
Can you show it to the camera?
I don't know how to do it on it. Not on this phone. It's on my main phone that I'm using right now. I can. Let me see if I can do something really quick. If this phone will let me.
So, Paul, you've got a hell of a move there. You come to a woman's house and you get her to hop in the hot tub. I gotta learn from you. I mean, that's some smooth shit there, brother.
Let me see here. I'm gonna try to. I'll download Facebook. It shouldn't only take a minute on here, and then I can pull it up.
Okay, cool.
Because this has. Oh God! Unless it's gonna make me go through.
And I just sent Face a picture on Facebook Messenger, something that he might like.
Yeah.
Is that a butthole pic? You said a butthole pic. He loves those, especially if they're in the woods.
I tell you. Oh my God.
Yeah, I don't know I don't know if I'm gonna be able to bring it up here.
Oh, okay.
Well, how many women have you baptized?
A lot.
That's your move, huh? That's your move.
Oh, that's so funny.
I'm here to help, baby. Let's get in the tub.
Yeah. How many of us? No, I'm kidding.
Jesus.
He just goes for the pretty ones. No, I'm kidding.
Oh my God.
No, I'm very thankful.
By the way, you're sitting there. I know you have some questions for Amy.
I mean, all the questions been answered on what I wanted to say. Everything's been answered.
He's speechless. He doesn't know what to say.
I just don't have nothing really to say. I mean, everything's been answered.
I think X is in love.
I mean, I can't ask her this, though. When you saw Michael Jackson and Whitney Houston and her, let's go with the Whitney Houston and her daughter. Where was that at? Where did you see them at?
In my bedroom. So I was being okay. So I would always play this song by Marshmello and Little Peep. But now this is a whole different other situation. Really quick, I would play that, and all the spirits would start dancing to it in routine. It's called Spotlight. But there were some times where I would watch ballroom dancing. Now, I wouldn't watch it on TV, but I would just see them dancing around like they were dancing in ballroom style.
There's always a party at your house, it sounds like.
I think there is.
Got a party with Amy.
I think we should go over there and do a party investigation party.
That's what I'm talking about.
We do a party investigation.
Oh, here we go.
I definitely need another one done here. You'd be surprised what you probably really pick up here. It's like especially since it's been as long as it has now, that I have opened myself up to this craziness. But this is
madness.
Amy,
the madness.
Yeah, Amy, didn't we try to get Dead Files over there too?
Dead Files?
Yeah.
I think you said you were going to reach out to them, but that never happened, I don't think.
Okay. Huh.
Hey, Paul, you know what you should do?
The medium? This ever
You
happened?
should get a talk box and see if you can get some spirits on there with the talk box.
Yeah, let's do that one for the next show. All right, guys. Amy, thank you for coming on the show. It's been awesome. Already.
Oh.
Time to.
Likewise when you're having fun.
Well, thank you for having me.
Thank you,
Sure.
Amy.
Yeah, thank you, Amy.
We'll have you on more often. We'd like to hear more stories.
All right, sounds good.
All right. Want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. Sanitarium with Leatherface, Phil, and all my motherfuckers. Have a good night. Peace.